Hey guys, this is Matt with another Minecraft video. So I'm super excited to announce that I'm organizing the first Factions Capture the Flag event here on mnb.net, of course on the Factions server. I posted a video on the general rules of Factions Capture the Flag just recently, so go check it out on my channel. But there are some specific rules for this particular event that I want to share with you so you can decide whether you want to take part or not. First off, all flags must be planted on unspoiled natural terrain, like the terrain I'm on right now. So you can't have a pre-existing vault or something like that to plant your flag in. Secondly, the flag can be planted no higher than Y100. Right now I'm at Y68 as you can see, and I want to keep the flags within reason, no sky vaults or anything like that. The reason I'm instituting that is that MNB has historically had issues with sand stacking due to some lag issues. I think those lag issues have been dealt with recent improvements that the admins have made on the faction server. Thanks, guys, by the way. But just in case, I want to make sure that we don't have issues with people trying to stack 40, 80 blocks of sand at a time. And so by keeping the flag at Y100 or less, we should avoid that. Now, also, no blocks can be placed within 5 blocks, 5 meters of the chest that contains the flag. That's including both sides and above as well. You can have blocks below the chest flag. But the reason to do that is to make sure that the actual vaults are going to be of decent size, and it's going to take some meaningful resources in order to protect that room that the flag is going to be held within. That means that room is going to be no less than 11 by 11 by 6. And lastly, I'm going to be placing a sponge on top of every single chest to avoid there being any water around the chest or anything like that. I know it's popular on factions to use water cover in order to protect chests. And however, these chests are going to be dry chests. You will have to protect a dry chest, which means you're going to really need to focus on building a solid vault around that, and not just rely on techniques that make, for example, a vault sea egg proof, creeper egg proof. Now that brings up the question of glitching. What about people that are going to try to glitch into those vaults and try to capture your flag that way? Glitching is not allowed on MNB. And the admins recently have some new tools in their arsenal to catch glitchers. If you glitch, you will be punished just as you would normally would on the server by a ban, most likely, and whatever faction you were associated with will be disqualified from this event. I will also look unkindly on your lack of sportsmanship personally, and I will probably avoid including you in any future events that I host. So know that. Now, if you want to take part in this event with those rules in place, here's what you got to do. Raise $100,000 in factions, and you need to find a location like this one right here, and you need to place a chest where that location is going to be. So let's pretend this is the location that I want my flag to be. That's step one. Step two, you need to TP me to this location, and I'm going to make note of the location. You need to claim the chunk for your faction, and you can start building. As soon as you claim that chunk, start building defenses around it. Now, you're only going to have control over the chunk that the flag itself is placed in, the flag chunk, for a limited period of time. So make sure that you build whatever you want on that chunk first, because I'm going to be coming in and basically taking over that claim later on in order to lock the flag in place. So you need to finish building in your flag chunk by noon Pacific time on Friday the 6th of March. That is 5 hours before the drop party that's going to be happening next Friday. And then you'll need to TP me back to this location before midnight on Friday the 6th. And that's 7 hours after the drop party, so that I can then claim this chunk from you, and I'm going to use fowner in order to claim ownership of this. So it'll look something like this, where I'll claim this, and then I'll use fowner to make it so that only I can build or modify this chunk, and I will of course be making sure that your flag is placed within this chest at that time. That will lock the flag into play, and no one else will be able to touch it, move it, or anything else like that. It will then be your job to defend this chest. If this chest breaks, then I'm going to say that you've lost control of your flag. You will no longer be eligible to receive the reward for having control over this flag. And if someone else picks up your flag, then they will then be eligible for that amount, right? So, and then lastly, on midnight, Friday the 6th, that's the time I mentioned, 7 hours after the DP, I will be publishing the locations of all the flags of the participating factions. And so everyone will then know the location of your vault, and it'll be on you to defend your vault, and then you'll be able to go after the vaults of others. You're going to want to make sure that you've built solid defenses on the chunk itself where the flag is, And if you want, you can claim surrounding chunks for your own faction and build additional defenses around that as well. So there's really no limit to the defenses you can build around that, but just know that you will not be able to build on the or in the chunk that the flag itself is placed after the locations are revealed. That's so that we can make sure that no one is cheating, that all the flags are locked into place, and that all the factions are doing their best to defend them. So if you have any questions about this, please post them in the comments on this video. This is the only place where I'm going to be answering questions related to this. And if people ask me questions in other locations, I'll be probably posting those questions in the comments myself so that everyone who's taking part can be assured of having all the same information that everyone else has. And by taking part in this, I want you to know that you're agreeing to TP me to the locations that where the action is happening so that I can record stuff. I want to be able to make a really cool series about people that are defending their bases and their flags against those attacking. And I also want to be able to make cool videos of those raiding others. I want to be able to interview you if you're taking part to find out what your strategies are. This is all for fun, and I want to be able to capture as much of the action as I can. And that action is going to continue until midnight in the evening of March 15th. That's Sunday, March 15th. I guess you could also call it the morning of Monday, the 16th. But so it's basically going to be for a little bit over 1 week where people will be taking on each other's flags, having to defend everything. And this will be effectively, I guess, a 9-day event after the build phase where there should be some intense faction action. I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope that we have some participants. I'm only going to allow up to 10 factions to participate. So the first 10 factions that send me 100K each and indicate an interest in participating are the ones that will be participants in this. I already have a few factions signed up, or at least lined up. Nobody's given me the cash yet. And for everyone who's going to take part, good luck. You're going to need it. Bye.